Hi everybody, this is Paul from Wheel of Games, and I apologize for not making any content for the last few months. I greatly apologize. I've had a lot of things going on with my own personal business, so this project it was still always on the back burner and still always there and running in the background, and I was doing things to finish it up for the last few months, but I finally have the full portfolio of all of the 500 cards that I now have, all the way through Fires of Heaven, for the Wheel of Time card game. So at Jordancon, I will have these. I wanted to kind of showcase what the card frames look like now. So if you haven't been watching the streams or the VODs that I posted months ago, I completely updated the frame to the game. I wanted it to be consistent. I wanted symbols, so like that lightning bolt means when played now, so I can avoid text on cards and it's easier with symbology. I put flags to identify nations so that I could, more clearly represent the character, and it could add something to people that may not be as familiar with the Wheel of Time world, but I've learned over my years of game design that adding symbology adds a lot to the flavor of a story or of a game, and it also adds visual identifiers that make things substantially easier for people to build decks. So, all those things, benefits. But aside from that, I'm just going to skim through the first 400 or so cards. None of the artwork changed. Some of the effects did change, but the only people that would probably know that are my people that are here in town testing with me and myself. But aside from that, I did a few things. I universally put these so like they go in the same direction in a binder. I added flags to the nations or to the locations. Strictly because like the victory cards, it may be a rule that I put in later. Not sure if it's there, but the flags also add a bit more, flavor to the story. So that's kind of cool. Like you can tell here with the spray, it's got the Flag of Ilion, and the only card in set 1 technically with the Flag of Ilion is Bale Doman. So and the ship crewman. So but you can tell that these two cards here have something to do with this. At least storyline wise, and that might make you go read the lore. So that's fun. And by the lore, I mean all the flavor text that's on all these cards. So past the Eye of the World, we move into Great Hunt. We got Rand and Balsamon fighting in the sky. When you put these two cards next to each other, it makes a full picture. This is artwork from someone on the internet. I put unknown because I don't know who drew it, but if you tell me, I'll update the file. It's that easy. Woohoo! And then past that, we move into more of the Great Hunt. And that's all these here. And you get all your cards. So for those of you that won't be attending Jordancon, this is me just kind of letting you get a showcase of the binder, at least to take a look. Down here is the Dragon Reborn. These go in sets of 100, so ironically enough, this binder that is 480 pages actually can't fit all 500 cards in it. This is the biggest binder they sell on the market. That is like a preset with these side-loading pockets that are really secure, and it's really nice with the black background. So I actually have 2 binders here. And I joked with my wife that it would be 3 binders before I'd actually have all the cards if I did 100 cards per set for all 14 books. So past that, we move into more of the Dragon Reborn. And then finally, we get the fireworks, infamous fireworks that Matt uses to break in. We get into Shadow Rising. So this is Shadow Rising. This is the one that showed up last year. This was the first time that I did commonplace weaves. That's this rainbow in the corners of the card. So this has already been a design aesthetic, but I put it in to be a little more emphasized in these. So you got those weaves in the corner of the top right and left of the card. And the way that these will be read for anybody that has played the game before is this saying that a Sidene user has to pay 2 of their Sidene points, or Sidar, sorry, and Sidene has to pay 1 for compulsion here. And what those are referencing this new little thing that I put. So up here we have the flag for the fighter, or not the fighter, the character, or the card for the unit. And then underneath it is their, sorry, my phone won't focus, It's their symbol, whether they're Sidene or Sidar, and it shows a number value. So each channeler has a resource now. So you aren't accessing their stat necessarily. They have their own separate stat for that. The only other addition that was also made to the frames are these little shields up here. And what that means is that this character has 5 armor points. So until that 5 armor is gone, this number does not change. Unless it's like a, kill effect or whatever, but that's how the game works. So past that, those are like the only new symbologies on the cards. And moving past all of these, this is all part of the Dragon Reborn set, or no, Shadow Rising set, my fault. You'll also notice that on some of the items, so if anybody is trying to play the game, you might notice on some of the items, you'll see these little Sidene and Sidar symbols here, and they'll have a plus or a minus as an item. Usually items say plus, which means that your character gains that much resource. So it's like a way of keeping track of stats, but it's a little separate baby stat. That's not as important, but it can be critical to deck building. So past that, we move into the new cards, the new babies. This is Fires of Heaven. So I'm not going to go over each and every card in detail, but I am going to kind of go over bits and pieces. I went back to putting bronze cards as black and white cards. So this is the first time, I think, in a set. I think you usually only get one, so there was another one here. I did do silver weaves. This is the first time that they've existed. And no, so I also did some branching. I think that this is the first time that I've also put men in the white category. I kind of kept it, I had branched into women being in the black category, but they were strictly, dark friends. And this time we have some of the main protagonists in the white cards. And so we have Rand and Lan here, we have Robin, we have Lanfear, we have Moghedien, we have Couladin, we have Balefire, and we have Dragonsworn. And then the Dragonsworn are ironically mirrored by the Siswayamon up here, the Spears of the Dragon. So, and then instead of Balefire Thread, which is in black, we have Bonding, which is in white. So, a little bit of aesthetics. We have the Band of the Red Hand, making its first appearance. The Band of the Red Hand does not appear until Book 5, so I stayed book canon. But, yeah, so we got Birgitta, too. She gets her first debut, a little bit of Bale, Talmanis, Nalisian, and all that. Moraine, I said this in the stream, and I'll say it here. She has completed the color Rainbow. Spoilers, but this is the last time we're going to see her for, a little while in the story. So, because she kind of passes away. But this here is Moraine's first time as a red, and she also has a yellow card. So that lets her complete. She has been on every single color, I believe, outside of black. So she completed every single color, so she's playable in every single deck now, technically. Also, another little fun detail that I wanted to show some people. If you notice, this Tom and this strong man, Petra, have this little border on the edge. And that little border is to signify that they are part of Val and Luca's Traveling Menagerie. So that's a category called Entertainer, and you'll see that it's on Nynaeve here, and it's also on Elaine with her hair dyed. So I tried to stay as accurate, like here's Valen himself, with his smug smile. And we got some jugglers, the Shreddit, Sarandon, and the acrobats are all here. We also have gateways and other things all floating around. But yeah, so I will tell anybody out there, please make more pictures of Asmodean actually playing a harp, because there's only one, and Ariel Burgess drew it. So please, for some reason they put him with a cello. I don't understand. There's no cello referenced in the Wheel of Time ever. Maybe it's for the Age of Legends, but still. Anyway, so then we get into the last bits of locations and hazards. You'll notice fairly prominent scenes, things that people are very familiar with. And yeah, so moving past that, we also have the Broken Spear, which I think aesthetically is one of the best cards that I've made. And finally, the last bits of items. and this older framed card that I had Ariel Burgess sign for me a couple years back at Jordancon. It's for a card from set 2. So anyway, that is the showcase, more or less, of the cards. So if you see this big red Dragon Shield box sitting on a table with a weird guy in glasses and a hat that is green, that's me. And you can come down, I will have decks pre-made, and we can play around, and I can explain how the game works, and hopefully you guys can have a good time. I am penciled in for 2 of the days, or actually I think all 3 days of Jordancon. I think between 2:30 and 5. So if you come down to the gaming hall, I'll be there and more than willing to show the game, teach you, and let you play. So thanks for your time, and have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.